Okay. So let's start out with... Fuck. Weapons are gonna be the most annoying. So, you know what? Let's start out with weapons. Like, it's not even clear what these weapons are. This is supposed to be a hard mode weapon list. Does that look like a hard mode weapon to you? It doesn't really look like a hard mode weapon to me. I would put that in C. Not recommended. It. Oh no, it is not okay. Spear, you know what? Fucking B. I'm fucking blitzing this. This is a crossbow. That's an A for now. This is a C. What even is that? I don't know what you are. Assuming it's a bow, I'm just gonna put it in the bow tier for now. Anchor is honestly like a B. Is that a banana? C. It's garbage. Meme weapon. I know... I've seen this... I don't know what you are. C. Sword that shoots a laser out of it. Honestly, I don't think the damage on it is that bad. I don't remember the damage on it, so C. Well, fuck it. If the fucking spear is here, then that has to be B. This has to be... Okay, C is either I don't fucking know what it is, or it sucks and is useless. This is slightly above useless right now, which is probably where Beam Sword lies. I've never used you. Go in C tier. Is this just like the normal... No, I don't know what you are. Go away. SS, a must-have. You, who are you? I know who you are. Die. Is this a bubble gun? Die. What are you? This is such a shitty fucking... Okay, at least there's not that many. This is such a fucking shitty tier list. I cannot for the life of me make out what you are. C. I think this is the Mega Man gun. I honestly don't remember. I know I've used it before. It's A. It's an A tier. You're some form of gun. You have to be an A tier. This is... at best, a B tier. Fuck it, I've never used it. C tier. Gun! A tier. You know what? I might as well put that one in the S tier. Well, what is gonna go in the S tier, if not that? Garbage? Any melee weapon? You know what? Why did I put you up there? You're garbage. You're fucking garbage. You're garbage, dude. You're fucking trash. I know that, like, some of these do weird effects, but they're trash in my eyes. Yeah, that's an A tier. That's just a stick. This is a stick. Garbage tier. I've never used it, but I don't know, just looking on appearance, it has to be a B, at the very least. Spear, you're garbage. Dog shit, go away. Ranged weapon, you gotta be there. Is this? This isn't. This is a cobalt sword. Garbage. Some form of gun? Unknown as to what gun that is. A tier. Reliable. I think this one actually does projectiles, so that's a B tier. Scimitar is an obvious C tier. I don't know what to do with this one. I think it's, like, not that good. B tier. Sucks. Not too reliable. This is definitely going to cannibalize all your damage, but, like, if you're... This is a weird one, because if you're not a summoner build, it's, like, C tier. And if you are a summoner build, it's, like, SS tier. Which one is this, though? Is this the dragon, or is this the balls? This is the balls. Okay. I would say that balls are actually usable... You know what? Because this cannibalizes your damage so much, I'm actually going to put it at, like... People are going to hate this. I'm just going to put it at A. I want to put it at B. I'm going to put it at A, or I'll get crucified. This one is better than that. Is it really S tier, though? Like, I would put this in A tier, so I have to drop this to B tier. Because it's definitely worse. This is obviously better if you are playing as a summoner, but if you're playing as literally anything else, it just makes it so you can't do damage. So, down it goes. Unless they've changed it, but I didn't see it in the patch notes that I just looked at. I don't know who you are. C tier? It's not the pygmy staff. No, that's the pygmy staff. I don't know who you are. Are you a weird, like, sentry thing? I think you're sentry shit. All of you go in C tier. All of the sentries are C tier. Yeah, including you, bitch. You're C tier. I mean, yeah, you're C tier. You're just a garbage. If this is fucking B tier, then obviously every other summoner weapon is gonna be C tier. Are you fucking insane? C tier. C tier. I actually think this one's not that bad. C tier. This one, maybe also? I've never used it. C tier. C tier. Some of these are probably at least equal. Or B tier. You know, some of these have to be B tier. That's a B tier. I give it a B tier. I'll probably also, maybe, I don't know. I've never actually used this one, so I'm not going to raise it. Yeah, that seems appropriate. Martian one's probably also B tier. I think that's a gun. I think this is a gun. Has to be A tier, minimum. I kind of vaguely see what looks to be a gun. A tier? S. S. That's one of the best items in the game. Is this the... You know what? S. That's an S. C tier. That was the easiest decision of my life. This is honestly an S. For the period of the game at which you get it. That's an S tier right there. Honestly, I should probably drop this to S, because this is nowhere near as good as this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there for now. I can readjust these later. I don't know what you are. I probably should, because there's not that many Martian items, but yeah, I can't recognize that. Off of that sprite, I have no idea what you are. That is, easy C tier. Okay, if Beam Sword is B tier, it has to be B tier. I'm so quick to put literally any sword in C tier, though. This is Flamethrower. Honestly, C tier. Just for annoyance of ammunition. SS. It's the only good flail because it makes an insane amount of projectiles. I don't know who you are. I mean, obviously you're a flail, but I've never used you, so C. I never used you, C. You're just bad, C. I don't know who you are, C. Oh, you're Frostflower. You are a C. I've used this. I don't know what you are, though. C. If that's good, I'm sorry. I know I've used it before, but... C. Probably. I don't actually know if that makes a projectile or anything. It looks like it might. I can't tell who you are, but you're probably a gun. So, A tier. This is the ambiguous ranged weapon tier. Because pretty much all ranged weapons are pretty good. How do I not know what you are? You look... Oh, probably because you're from the... this event, if I had to guess. If it's not, then I don't know how I have... I've never even seen that weapon. What? What? Are you... Did you change your Twitch name? I must know you. Because there's no way someone just drops a fucking prime out of nowhere. Thank you. But I'm not sure if I know you, so I don't know how to approach this conversation. Assuming you're the person I think you are, how's it going? We haven't really done anything in a while. Yeah, we played Among Us, exactly. So you are who I thought you are. Honestly, pretty appropriate Twitch name. Although, still, I am a little bit hesitant on your Twitch name, because I'm like, at some point, Twitch is gonna, if you get popular enough, Twitch is gonna give you the waggly finger and ask you to change it. Well, that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, thank you for the free money out of Jeff Bezos's pockets. Although, soon to be not Jeff Bezos. Yeah, that makes sense. If you just run away long enough, they can't catch you, right? That's a pretty viable plan. If I have the fucking anchor in B tier, this has to go in B tier, because it's equally as bad. Although I really should just drop both of them to C tier. There's a lot of dog shit weapons in this game. I honestly can't tell if this is gun or not, but it has to be a gun. Like, I see a trigger. A tier. Easy C tier. Pretty easy A tier. Like, anything with ranged, you're going in the A tier. Ooh, this is actually maybe an S tier. I think it's spicy enough. No. The leaf... This isn't the leaf one, right? This is... No, this isn't even A tier. I think it's like B tier at best. I have used this a decent amount, but yeah, it's not that good. And I think they maybe nerfed it. I don't know. B tier. That's where it sits. It's a ranged weapon, so I have to stick by my principles, right? Not a ranged weapon. I don't think that's a staff. I think that's a mace. I know it looks kind of staff-esque. I think it's a mace. I've never used this, so down it goes. It might be good, though, if it's like the other scythe item. It has potential to be good. Tier list is getting a bit chunky in the C section, isn't it? Although, I mean, it's not my fault there's so many dog shit items in Terraria. I didn't make it the way it is. Pitchfork! I'm leaning in between A and B, honestly, just because of how slow it is. For damage alone, I think it has to be A. Yeah. Don't think too hard about C-section. This is a Martian item, so it has to be good, but I honestly can't remember, so it's B tier. Sorry. Like, it looks segmented, like it would do the thing that the solar flare does. But, I can't guarantee that, so... I think this is the one... Oh, is this... This is the one that gives you stealth, right? C tier. Needles is... I'm doing it. Okay, that's S tier, and this is going down to S tier as well. Those are, like, equal. No, that's still SS. Like, if you're a melee character, this is, like, one of your only options to do real fucking damage and not be a fucking waste of space. I mean, like, the ones that are just, like, the end game items, it's so hard to quantify. Though I would definitely say this one is more A tier, and this one is more SS tier. I don't think I've ever used this. Or maybe once. Probably is still a C tier. Magic Dagger. I could remember that face anywhere. You can't escape me. C tier. Medusa's head used to be cool. It's B tier at best. At best, it's B tier. It used to do like a huge AoE. I think they changed it. Like, they changed the way the weapon works. But, Genie? I'm thinking of the Gungeon thing. I was like, Genie's good. No, I'm thinking of the, Enter the Gungeon gun. C tier. Just because I don't really remember what it does. Hex Flame, B tier at best. You know, no, I don't know what it does. For a second, I was like, if this is going up, this has to go up. But, no, I will not. C tier, it sucks. It just looks pathetic. C tier. Honestly, C tier. It used to be one of the best, like, hard mode weapons you could get at this point in the game. But there's just better options now. This is, like, borderline unusable, even at the stage you get it. It's just too slow. Not enough consistent damage, honestly. Flask. I'm tempted to put it in S, because it is an insane amount of damage, but minimum A tier. Pumpkin Launcher, never used. Keyblade, probably never used, but even if I did, probably C tier. KO Cannon, C tier. Never used it, also. Is this the laser gun? Honestly, like, right as you enter hard mode, assuming this is the laser gun that you get from the Wall of Flesh, right as you enter hard mode, that's gotta be like an A tier. It usually carries me through hard mode. All in of itself. I mean, like, it's not even fair putting this on the same tier as, like, or in the same list as something like Scimitar or Cobalt Sword. Like, yeah, it's an SS. This is the one, dude. This leaf gun, honestly, S tier. Don't at me. It's very strong. This one, can heal you, but I think that sucks in expert mode and beyond. I don't know. B tier at worst, probably. Discs suck. Don't use. And don't talk to me about using them. This has to be the laser gun from the Martian event. There's nothing that looks quite like that. And if it is the laser gun, that's an SS. So that's a must-have. I think this is the lunar sentry, and on principle, because I put all of the other sentries down there, that's where you go. I actually don't know what this is. This isn't the Figeron book, is it? All of the books look identical. I think this is the Figeron book? But this was next to a Moonlord item, so it's confusing me. Like, I can name some of these books. That's Cursed Flame, that's the Ichor one, Golden Shower, of course, the joke, the funny joke. That's the Crystal one. I could not tell you what either three of these are, so I'm gonna save those for later. Bow, on principle, is arbitrary A rank. Mega Shark is actually, like, minimum S. Bro! You can't just disappear for months and then start dropping your cash on me. I feel bad, like... I feel like I haven't connected enough for this amount of the monetary inflow. Can't I? Well, you know, it is the law. I can't stop you, I guess. Feel free. Feel free to drop whatever cash you want. Meowmere, people always say, is good, so I'm gonna make everyone mad because I've never used it and put it in C tier. Because I never play Melee, so that's where it belongs. Meteorite thing. C tier. It's honestly like a dog shit weapon. Thank you for giving me more easy ones. Dude, get the easy ones out of the way. Like, all of these fucking melee weapons. Although I think North Pole is actually good. It's still going C tier, because I've never used it. That has to be a melee weapon. Is that the one you get from fishing? Like, what do you, they just give me a random fucking wooden sword on this list of hard mode weapons. Oh, I guess it is hard mode because it's a hollowed sword. And you don't get hollowed wood until hard mode. Fair enough. Both of these hollowed items are going in C tier, though. Because, like, it's not fair to talk about them with the same sort of reverence as these other weapons. I don't actually know what bow this is. Is this the one you get from... You know, I'm saving that one for later. Arbitrary range tier A. I don't know what you are by that picture. C? Isn't this the upgraded, like, Vilethorn? I've never used it. C. Thundercloud? B. At best. Oh, this is the Onyx Launcher! This is, like, one of my favorite weapons for hard mode. Like, this laser rifle carries me until I get the Onyx Blaster, or whatever it's fucking called. Assuming that's what that is. That's an S tier for sure. Garbage? Garbage? This is the Paladin's hammer, which is a ranged melee weapon. If you're playing melee, that has to be S tier, minimum. Arbitrary A tier. I can't just put this in arbitrary A tier, because it looks like it has to be like a cooler than normal bow, right? Like, that's a special looking bow. I don't know what to do with it yet. Phase Blades. C tier. Melee weapons that don't allow any sort of ranged are a C tier. I honestly can't tell what that is. C tier? It looks like a bow, maybe, but I've never used it anyways. Cannot for the life of me tell what that is. Or this. Like, I've never seen these sprites before in my life. This is the Venom Launcher. I think it has its moments. I think it's either A or B tier. But I think it's more B tier. This is the Golem throwing weapon. It's just not as usable as the Paladin's hammer, and you can get them at the same point in the game, so why would you ever use this over this? I guess this is rarer, but... Rarity means nothing in this world. Don't know what you are. I think this is a like later game weapon that I've never seen before. Because I think it's a 1.4 weapon. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I have to be wrong on that, because this weapon list doesn't include Zenith, does it? Does it? I haven't seen it yet. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I don't think Zenith is on this list. I don't know what to do with either. I think this is just Shroomite. And if it's just Shroomite, then it gets arbitrary A. That looks like the Shroomite color palette. That's an A. Sentry, C. Unusable because of how short range it is, C. I don't know what you are, C. Like, it looks vaguely gun-esque. So do these, for the record. Oh, is this, I think this is Mega Shark 2. I think I actually just put Mega Shark 2 in C tier, but that's where it's gonna sit. Oh, no, this is Mega Shark 2. There you go. Honestly, I'm gonna drop it down a tier because I've never used the weapon. That's not why I'm dropping it down a tier, because I've seen it used plenty. I'm dropping it down a tier because in playing multiplayer with my girlfriend who was using it, this weapon makes by far the most annoying noise out of any fucking weapon. It's just a constant fucking non-stop. Hate it. Shadow Beam Staff. They nerfed it, like, a lot. It's like B tier. Not very usable. Don't know who you are. I think this is a... Well, it's either Chlorophyte or I think it's a drop from Plantera. Either way, melee weapon, C tier. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. I think this is a Cursed Dagger that you get from the Goblin event. Honestly, C tier. Which doesn't make much sense. I just... Like, that's as good as this Shadow Flame Bow, but for some reason I'm putting them in an elevated category. You know what? It's a throwable weapon. It's B tier. It's B tier. I'll get over my, my weird attractiveness towards the C section. I have no idea what that is. It's just rectangle. I think it's maybe the shotgun or boomstick. Impossible to tell. Oh, that's the sniper. Okay, I was gonna say, same with this. I have no idea what it is. It's A tier. Honestly, maybe even B tier because of how slow it fires. I don't know what you are. C tier. Oh, is that a grenade launcher thing? It's still C tier. Planet Launcher. C tier. It's not very good. Solar Flare, there you go. We got a good weapon again. SS. Don't know who you are. C tier. Ghost Staff, not very good. Honestly, C tier. I don't know what you are. C tier. I've never used you. C tier. Isn't this fun? Isn't this one of the most relatable Terraria tier lists you've ever seen? I don't know what you are. C tier. There's too many items in this game, man. I don't know what you are. C tier. Put respect on his name. A tier. It's just not as good as the things that are in S tier for the point that you get them. This is definitely being brought down to A tier, though. I think that fits more. Like, it just doesn't do enough damage or attack fast enough to be put in S tier. These are, for the point you get these in the game, these are just significantly better than this. Don't at me. Yo-Yo, though. In fact, this is like the ultimate yo-yo, isn't it? This is like the best of the best. It's gotta be SS. Assuming that is what it is. God, it's weird how they organize this. Like, why do they have all the yo-yos in a row, but that one yo-yo deserves special treatment? Is this an upgraded Knights? Oh no, this is upgraded... Yeah. Well, what is the first one called? It's not... I was gonna call it Knight's Fury. That's not what it's called. Is it just Knight's Edge? There you go. This is the upgraded true Knight Edge, which then gets turned into that. So at best, Knight's Edge upgraded is like B tier. I don't know who you are. You're probably B tier also, but because I don't know you, you go in C tier. There's a lot of things I don't know. This weapon I've used once, and it was very good. A tier minimum. Don't know who you are. Really don't know who you are. Or you. When did these things get added to the game? B tier. True hollowed, whatever the fuck. Isn't that True Excalibur? B tier. That's also B tier. Maybe even... I don't know, I would maybe put this equal with Knight's Edge. Because it's pretty fucking good, but... B tier. Because I just don't remember the stats. This is the Duke Figeron bow. Okay, that's an S tier for sure. It's not quite... Oh, it might be SS. If I've got that in SS, where are my standards? I'm bringing this down to S. Because these are just absurdly strong. Like, literally, this is something you get after Moonlord, and so is this. It's not really fair. Like, I should have... Well, I don't know. If I'm looking at the way they have it described as a must-have, yeah, at the point in the game. But, like, okay. That's down there because of the sound effect. That's right. Like, a lot more of these things would be SS. Although, I don't know. You know what? That makes sense. I'll keep it at that. I'm satisfied with that. Even if this is the most powerful bow in the world, I don't know it by looks alone, so it goes in C tier. And, you know, it's a gun, so it's gotta be A tier, right? Right? SS. Easily SS. Oh no, this is the Venom thing. Well, if I put this in well, fuck, they can share spaces. This is the weaker version of it. Honestly, this is... Fuck it, it's A tier now. It's surprising how few magic things I actually put in A tier, considering I usually play magic. Although I guess here they are, at the bottom. Like, the majority of them are books. That's not true. A few of them are books. Cursed Fire, whatever the fuck it's called. Now that I know this is actually decent damage for the damage over time, it's B tier. Not too much higher above that. The Crystal one is actually C tier, though. Because this is, like, one of the only consistent forms that you get this debuff from. SS. Because, like, the debuff alone is, like... It just lowers enemies' defenses. It's quite important. This looks like a good gun, but I don't recognize it, so A. I don't know who you are. C. I've been putting all the crossbows and shit in A, so that's consistent. Wasp gun? Haven't really used it. C tier. Is this the Xenopopper? This gets a fucking SS for being... It's not going to be SS. It is probably going to be S, though. Because it is fun. And actually pretty good. I don't know who you are. I mean, you look like the Duck Hunt gun. You get C. All of these yo-yos, outside of, like, maybe this one. Like, I put this one A tier. And then because, like, I don't know the power ranking of all of these, the rest are all going in C tier. Because unless you're one of the truly exceptional yo-yos, you're basically unusable. And then these books. I think this is the Moonlord one, which has to be SS on power alone. One of these is the Figeron one, and I straight up have no clue what the other one is. I think this is the... Oh, no! I do know! This is the dungeon one. And so this has to be the Figeron one, right? Okay, if this is the Figeron one, assuming it is the Figeron one, S tier? And I think the dungeon one is not bad. I would give it a A tier. It's better than B tier. Alright, there you go. That's my Terraria item tier list. Oh, fuck. Okay. I know I'm, like, blitzing through this. It's because I streamed 5 hours of me talking about patch notes that I really expected to be 3 hours maximum. But that's how things go. I think the next least interesting one is going to be accessories. Oh, but it's actually going to be... It's going to be more fun than weapons. Like, weapons are weird. I shouldn't have even done a tier list of the weapons, because, like... a lot of weapons are just objectively better than others. Like, how do you tier list that? Okay. I feel like I need to have a wiki page open on another tab, because, like, first off, why are these opposite to how every other tier list works? Go to the top, please. I hate that they inverted the norms. Your job as someone making a tier list is not to subvert expectations. It's to be exactly as people expect. This is the next lowest. I don't want to be doing this either. There you go. Oh, almost. Wait. Fuck it. I'm doing it. Doing it all wrong. What am I doing here? How am I not understanding? Go down. Thank you. I must have been misclicking an insane amount of times there. All right. I like a... wait, what? What is this tier list? I didn't even realize, like... Why is very good red and below good? Who made this? Okay. Bad. Oh, okay. When I started typing, it went... Why is that happening? I'm not pressing any... Okay, I want to select the text. I guess it doesn't want me to highlight. Bad. Okay. Honestly, I don't need anything more than just delete this one. Delete. And then delete terrible. I am actually upset at whoever fucking made this. And delete that one. I thought I already deleted that one. Whatever. We're going to have 3 tiers. Bad. Again. It doesn't want me to highlight. It's because I'm mousing off of the window when I do that. Bad, good, and god tier. Those are my only tiers. Aglet. Bad. Sorry. Ankh Shield, god tier. I mean, this is like the best flying item in the game, isn't it? It has to be god tier. Destroyer Emblem, it's like just damage to all sources, but the best part about it is that you can have a Destroyer Emblem and an emblem for whatever class you use. Why are there 2 Summoner Emblems? For that alone, you get bad tier, and also because Summoners are bad. Magic, good. Destroyer, I have to put in good. Melee, bad. Ranger, good. That was easy. Yo-Yo Bag is god tier, though. String is bad, like Yo-Yo tiered, or Yo-Yo Bag has string in it. So I don't know why they separate that. There's no stacking effect of having Yo-Yo Bag and string. Like, Destroyer Emblem and whatever other emblem you use does stack, but Yo-Yo String is not a stacking effect. Honestly, I don't even know what you do, so you're bad. If I've never seen an accessory in my entirety of playing Terraria, you have to be bad. It's just the only way. Actually, like, health regen is pretty good. I think I'm surprisingly going to put that in the good tier. The mana one is just dog shit, though. This is regen, right? Yeah, that's regen. That's awful, though. This is the one that increases crit chance, I think? It has to... Bottom line is good. It's not bad. It's not god tier. Which is probably why people have more than 3 tiers when making a tier list, but you know what? The person who made this tier list sucked, so I'm not gonna make it for them. This is the increased attack speed claw? I actually can't tell from this shitty image. I don't know what this is. Bad tier. Sorry. Dice is included in Yo-Yo Bag. I mean, it's good, I guess. Yo-Yo String is actually just kind of bad, though. So, down it goes. This is like the confusion effect on enemies. It's bad. It's bad. Increased mana regen and increased distance that you pick up stars. Don't know why there's 2 of them, but it's bad. I don't think I've actually crafted this up to this tier, but if this is here, then this has to also be here, minimum. I would also put this in good. This is definitely not every accessory but surprisingly, it includes things from Journey's End. Just who fucking made this awful tier list? I'm mad. Cloud in a Bottle, I actually never use outside of the early game, so that's bad. This is the attack speed one. Good. If you are going to be using melee, which you shouldn't. I might as well put that here then as well. But summoners, no, you don't get any respect. Sorry. I think this adds fire damage and knockback to your melee hits. I don't even think it's that good. Figeron Wings have to be God tier. I mean, I'm just gonna put all wings in God tier, because the flight is the only thing that matters in the game. This is... I mean, if these boots are here, then these boots just have to be here. It's only logical. And same with these, although they are, like, required items. I hate whoever made this tier maker, dude. I actually think this one functions differently. I've only used it once, and I don't remember how it works. But I'm gonna have to drop it down to good, I think, because you don't get much vertical height with it. Oops. Yeah, sure, you're in the same tier as Hermes boots. How does that make you feel? Good. This is... it's just increased damage with bows? Has to be good. I think this is an upgraded form of this that also has the mana flower. Since it has the mana flower, I guess it's God tier. Same with mana flower as God tier, because it's required for magic people. I don't know what this is. This is the Star Cloak upgraded, I think. It's bad anyways. Bad tier. This is the fully upgraded thing that also includes the tabby. God tier. Don't know who you are. Bad tier, probably. I think it's the less upgraded version of that. This is mana? No, this is wolf form. Good. If, well, I don't know. If this is good, and this includes this, then isn't this just bad? It's probably bad. Fuck it. I wouldn't use the accessory slot on it. I would still say this is God tier, though. This is bad. Like, what a fucking weird assortment. Like, yeah, you really stretched the sum of this list. I would give you a fucking stink-ass shit emote if I had the option. But I don't have an account, so... Increased minion capacity. Sorry, minions suck. B tier. Which is bad. B stands for bad. Damage penetration. God tier. Or defense penetration, I mean. Also God tier, because it's an early game dash. That goes in boots tier that aren't max level boots. And God tier. There you go. That's my... You know, I did the best with what I had to work with here, alright? Like... I had to work with... this is like the best accessory tier list I could find, and it was still shit, so... That's, you know... I tried. I tried. I tried. Bosses I can say something on, and Calamity Bosses especially. I'm excited for that one. Okram, I think is how you say it, because it is a console exclusive that gets bottom of the barrel. And I'm going to be only considering these bosses... well, no, I'm going to be considering all difficulties, I guess, because in Calamity mode it makes some things harder than it should be. Destroyer, though? Like, okay, I don't know where to put Eater of Worlds. Like, it's not the boss's fault. It's the fault that it's at the early stage of the game where you don't have any movement capability, which just makes it kind of an unfun fight because the part of the game that you fight it at is bad. So, not that great is where I would land. I wish I could... I'm gonna do these in order. I wish they were organized, is what I want to say. I do think that this is better than Eater of Worlds, though. Like, even with the lack of movement abilities, the fact that the speed of the boss pushes you to the point that if you actually want to avoid everything, you need to grapple cancel, or you probably should be grapple canceling. I think that's actually a pretty good fight, whereas this one is just, like, on expert mode, borderline bullet hell. But there's not even that many bullets. It's just kind of boring. It's not that great. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. What comes after those? Brain. Brain is definitely better than Eater of Worlds. I would probably put Brain equal to Eye of Cthulhu. That feels fair. Oh, they included mini-bosses, too? Ew. I'm gonna put all of the mini-bosses in bottom of the barrel. I don't care about the mini-bosses. Mini-bosses aren't real fights. They, oh, this is the fucking... I was wondering who this is. This is the Ice Golem. Oh, mobile exclusive and console, maybe? Maybe that's on 3DS, I don't know. I think it's only mobile. That's F tier. Who are you? Oh, you're the Moth. You're the Moth, okay. There's 2 Okrims because nobody knows how to fucking make a tier maker, apparently. Twins, I'll get to. You're F tier. Just sorting out the garbage first. F tier? Honestly? Is it insulting to drop B in F tier? I don't think the boss fight of the B is that bad. But the bullets are invisible. Like, straight up, you cannot see that motherfucker's bullets. They've tried to make graphical improvements to the bullets so that they stand out more, but I think worst case scenario, it might be dropped to terrible, but for now, it's equal with the Eater of Worlds. No, I don't like it as much as the Eater of Worlds, though. Like, Eater of Worlds is honestly neutral. I would probably do that. Raise Eater of Worlds, put that in not that great. That's fair. Another mini-boss. Just sorting through. King Slime. Not that great. Maybe terrible. Just because it's just an ad fight. It's not really... Yeah, it's not even a boss fight. Fuck it. It's just you killing a bunch of slimes. It's shit tier. As bad as it gets without being a mini-boss and from a console version. Which is saying a lot. You better feel bad, King Slime. You better feel real bad right about now. After this tier, you go to Skeletron, I think is the next boss. With expert mode and like death mode too, increases the fun levels of Skeletron. Skeleton Man. If this is where I'm putting these two, then yeah, you have to go an A for Skeletron. Easily. What comes next? Can I just like, can I spend some time sorting these? Because it fucking bugs me. Like, Moonlord is the last boss. Golem is before that, I think. Cultist is right before Moonlord. Apparently that's impossible to do. There you go. Figeron is also probably right before that. Wall of Flesh is before all of... Oh, nope, sorry! These go... Why do they... Fuck this! Why are these even here? This is not a boss! So stupid. I don't want these shitty fucking worms on my, my tier list for bosses. I can't remember when you can fight Queen Slime. I know it's... I think it's after Plantera, actually. It's definitely post-hard mode, though. Oh, so I guess the next one online is, Wall of Flesh, which is actually a terrible fight. Some people might take issue with that and say that the fight is not so bad. I would agree, the fight is not so bad, but, especially if you're playing vanilla Terraria, or if you're playing Calamity, but with the difficulty pumped up to death mode, you really need to prepare for the fight. And I mean really. Like, you need a full fucking hell-length platform. Especially on death mode. It goes so fucking fast at the end of the boss fight. It's just a terrible fight. I hate the amount of preparation you need to go through to make an arena when the difficulty is pushed as far as it gets with Terraria mods, and also just, like, Master Mode, which is vanilla Terraria. Just it makes it not fun. Not a very good fight. It's a fight that needs an arena, and there is no arena given to you, so it goes in shit tier. People, I mean, even the fight itself is not that great. Like, it just shoots at you and spawns ads. I don't, yeah, fuck that fight. I don't know why I need to defend myself for not liking it. Oh, also, this is a mini-boss. It's just a bad fight. Flat out. Straight up. There you go. I think I now have the perfect organization of these to work forward. Destroyer is one of my favorite fights. In fact, like, all of the mechanical bosses are, like, pretty good fights. I think Skeletron Prime is the weakest of them. And especially in death mode, the changes they made to Skeletron Prime are more annoying than anything. But I'm still gonna drop it in S tier, because these are by far the most enjoyable fights. Oh, except Plantera, which gets my primo. Can I add a list here? I might, like, reorganize, if anything. Let's do it. I'm reorganizing, dude. That's the only thing that deserves the highest treatment. Plantera is the best boss fight, bar none. And I know I'm not being fair, because I dropped Wall of Flesh. Like, if Wall of Flesh didn't require the excessive amounts of preparation, it would probably go up one tier. So that's one tier of dockage for excessive amounts of preparation. Plantera does require you to really clear out a decent chunk of the jungle in order to have fun with the fight. Otherwise, you're just going to constantly get hit by enemies that are just in the jungle, as they always are. Which is not a very fun boss fight experience. So it's S tier under the best circumstances, which isn't fair, but also it is just, like, it's a really fun fight, so it gets that special treatment of being S tier despite the preparation required. Golem, I don't think is a very good boss fight. It's, like, neutral at best. It's better than Eater of Worlds, that's for sure. It's in between C and B, but honestly, I just really don't like the fight that much, so I'm going to stick it in C. And also, I think in Journey's End, they made it so you can't move his spawner, so you always have to fight him in that arena. It's C tier. Never fought this boss. I've heard good things about it, but I've never fought it, so I'm sorry, I'm just putting you down here. Queen Slime I have fought numerous times, and it's just not a fun fight. It is just, like, spam of bullets everywhere. There's ads everywhere. Just awful fight. It's worse than King Slime, just because it's King Slime, but they wanted to boost the difficulty of it. And I don't think that made it very fun, honestly. King Slime is not a good idea for a boss fight. Figeron is kind of hard for me, because I think it's a good fight when you're prepared. But it also has the most annoying boss spawning item, which does dock it a little bit. I think I have to put it in A tier, though. It's a good fight. Death mode, not so much, but it's a good fight. Cultist, also, I think it's made better in death mode, but it's a weird one. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I don't like it enough to put it... Like, I don't really have fun fighting the cultists. Like, the difficulty that comes from it is just that, especially in death mode, it does a stupid amount of damage. But the fight itself isn't particularly engaging. It's above these, for sure, though. There's way less boss fights in vanilla Terraria than I thought there were. Like, this is such a small amount. And, yeah, sorry, but Moonlord is, like, D? Maybe even E? I think Moonlord is just, like, a mess of a fight. It does too many things at once. Like, even though it's all one boss, it, more or less has the feeling of, like, multiple boss fights at once, because and I know this isn't true, the Moonlord fight does have, like, a fairly consistent pattern to it, where it'll do, like, wave of bullets, and then, like, it does those cheap little snipes at you, and it just repeats that pattern, more or less, and then occasionally its middle eye will decide to do the big laser. It's on, like, a timer or cooldown. But, no, okay, it's not that bad. It's equal with Lunar Cultists. Pretty good. I enjoy Skeletron more than either of these fights, but that's probably the best place to put it. Although I actually like Calamity's version of Moonlord more. Calamity's version of Moonlord, the eyes never pop out, which I think makes the fight more enjoyable. Because when the eye... You know what? It's going down to C. When the eyes pop out in the Moonlord fight, like the hand eyes, it is actually, like, complete bullshit. You can't really control it. You're going to take some hits. Like, yeah, sure, I bet there is someone on YouTube who has a no-hit Moonlord fight. I don't doubt that. Not a particularly fun fight, though. C tier. Alright. Kind of disappointing as a final boss. And also the effort that it takes to spawn the boss. Yeah, the C tier is fair. Fair. I'm not going to dock it lower, but that makes sense. Alright. That's vanilla bosses. Now, Calamity Bosses, I actually have more experience with, or at least more recent experience. So maybe there will be some recency bias. Though I don't really remember all of these fights just by looking at them. Like, I can't tell you which worm is which. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll remember it more as I go through it. Like, this is the ocean one, right? I don't know who... no, that's the star one. Okay. So all of these bosses are going to be from a death mode perspective, by the way. Because that's, like, the only way I've played Terraria Calamity mod, is on death mode. So, take that with a grain of salt. I have lowered the difficulty to Revengeance at some point, but then I moved it back up to death mode, so... I don't know. I've had a few Calamity playthroughs. I think I've done at least one, not Revengeance or Death Mode, but it's so long ago I can't remember anything. And they've changed the bosses so many times that, yeah. But, like, some things I do only have experience with on that. I think on the Revengeance playthrough, I have experience with them. But for the most of these, the freshest memory is the Death Mode memory. I have actually, like, never really fought this guy the way it's meant to be fought, because I always play a Crimson world. So... I don't know where to put him. I'm choking up, dude. I'm fucking crying thinking about where to put this guy. Just to be fair, like, I have never had a fair experience with the boss fight. I only fight him when I'm extremely overpowered for the fight, just to get what his item drop is. And I don't even remember what it is, but... yeah, I've never really fought this, so D tier. Mushroom fight. I actually firmly believe... I mean, mushroom crab fight, not just mushroom fight. I think it's actually D tier. The fight itself is not that bad, but it's really buggy. Like, it fucking clips through the walls really frequently, and makes for a kind of not super fun boss fight experience. This is, like, not that many Calamity boss fights are what I would describe as buggy. But considering you have to fight this guy in an underground mushroom biome, those are usually not very big. And he just ends up clipping through walls. And, like, one of the most frustrating things he'll do is that, like, he'll be above you, and then there's a timer. It's actually like a fucking ticking time bomb that if he's standing above you for like 5 seconds or longer, he just starts falling through the blocks and lands on top of you. D tier fight. Not very fun. Again, I wish these were organized in the order that you fight them. This fight. Fuck, dude. It's kind of buggy and desyncy on multiplayer. In single player, death mode is the most recent experience I have with it. It's a good fight. It's a really, really hard fight. I was stuck on this fight for, like, not even joking. I played Terraria, like, 2 days in a row. Both days, I was stuck on this boss fight, just doing it over and over again, grinding the materials. It is a really hard boss fight on death mode. I think it's probably S tier. Like, I think the fight itself is fun. I like the constant curtain of bullets. There's one frustrating part. It's got the same problem the bee has, where its bullets are kind of hard to see at nighttime, in particular. But I really enjoy the constant curtain of bullets you have to weave between, and then also dodge the worms when they show up. It's really fun. That's an S-tier fight. Already! There was only one S-tier fight in Vanilla Terraria. Already I'm dropping an S-bomb, dude. And not, like, shitties. Not that kind of S-bomb. Alright. Slime God? It's not a bad fight. I'm not going to talk about the fact that this fight, more than any, desyncs in multiplayer. I'm not going to talk about that. I think I have to just drop it at B tier, and I might even lower it to C tier. Which is not fair, because most of the mechanics of the fight I actually find enjoyable. It is a pretty enjoyable fight. The only thing I actually, like, disdain about it is I just find the effect of getting hit by the heart of it really annoying. But I know that's just a me problem. It's not very fair to the boss fight. This is an A-tier fight. Alright, I brought myself back around. I actually like the Slime God fight. That debuff is kind of fucking dog shit, but whatever. You can still live after getting hit by it. It's just, like, not really in your control, which is what I hate about it. It's the same debuff you get from those, like, I think it's, like, the Insect Queen in the green, the green pillar of the Moonlord Lunar event. Sorry, not very descriptive, but, the ranged one, you know, the ranged pillar of the Moonlord Lunar event. There's, like, one enemy that you get hit by it, and you just kind of, like, float up and down for a little bit, not really able to control yourself. Same debuff. Okay. From Slime God, I feel like I've missed one. Have I missed any pre-hard mode, or are those all the pre-hard mode fights? I think those might be all the pre-hard mode fights. I know you can fight this pre-hard mode, I think, but good lord, why would you? Oh, no, this is pre-hard mode. It's just a worm. It's just a worm. Like, it's not even... It's just a worm. It's just a worm, dude. That's C tier. Honestly, like, I would probably drop it in D tier, but I think that the fact that it drops the fishing items for you make it the only thing that salvaged this boss at C tier. It's alright. It's just a worm fight. It's basically Eater of Worlds, but it doesn't split. It has babies instead. It's okay. I like this fight up to a point, and that point is where I'm not sure if it's a Revengeance or Death Mode thing, but towards the end of the fight, it just starts moving at light speed. And there are also certain things I just don't really like about the fight. This one I don't really have that much memory of, to be fair. But I remember the bullets being really, really hard to see, especially with the particle effects, because it makes it like Blizzard while you're fighting it. At best, it's C. It might even be D. So, that's where that fits. So we're already in hard mode now. Is there anything that stands out as like an obvious next pick? Not really. This fight? It's definitely better than these two, but not much. It's very close between C and B. The teleport can sometimes telefrag you on it. Other than that, I think that, like, when it's off-screen, because you can get it fairly off-screen just by accident fighting the boss. The bullets just move at, like, light speed, because the bullets it fires while it's stationary accelerate like, to no end. They just keep accelerating, so they start out at a fairly easy pace to dodge, but if you're, like, anywhere off-screen from the boss, you're just gonna get, like, pelted by them. So I guess stay close to the boss, but also, I don't know, that's kind of dangerous as well. It's a B fight. It's definitely worse than Slime God, and definitely better than these two. Okay. Worm. I honestly think it's A tier. I think the only reason I might not like this fight that much is because of playing in a small world where you have a very small space to dodge the bullets it fires, because it fires a lot of bullets. But I fought it one time under good conditions, and it was actually a pretty fun fight. I just don't particularly recommend playing Terraria in a small world anymore. I used to always recommend small world, small world, small world. You have to play in a small world because it makes the early progression faster. But not when you push the difficulty on boss fights, especially in Calamity. There's a lot more boss fights that are affected by small world in Calamity. From here, I think this is the next obvious one. I don't even know, man. This, I'll be honest with you, I just never fought this boss, so D tier. I think they made, like, a big change to this boss recently, so I should let people know that I haven't played the most recent version of Calamity, and I think literally the most recent patch, like, overhauled this boss fight. I think it's fun up to the point where you have to start killing the big guy. And then it's just, like, overly tanky. And, like, all of its attacks. Like, when you get hit by it, it feels really cheap. Like, it's just fucking massive, for one. And I play on a small world, like I mentioned. Which is my fault, I know. But actually, like, it takes up the entire fucking ocean when you play on a small world. But still, the boss fight after you kill the smaller... The siren is not that fun. But it drags on for a really long time because of how tanky it is. I would have to put this at B. It's even. These are both fights that have good parts and have bad parts. That's appropriate to put in the B tier, I'd say. Honestly, I fought these, like, mini-boss things, like, once, and I can't really tell you that much about them. But also, that's not what comes next. Calamitous probably comes up next. I put Calamitous at, honestly, S tier. It's a very fun fight. It is a very, very fun fight. Supreme Calamitous? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I drop that bad boy. But Calamitous 1? That's a fun one. Dude, there's so many worms. Like, which one of these is the God Worm? I think this is the God Worm? Like, Destroyer of Gods, or whatever it's called? But maybe it's this one? I think this is the Space Worm, right? It's got, like, similar color palettes. Or maybe this is the Space Worm? It's so hard to tell. I'm going to assume that this is the God Worm. I'm sorry if I incorrectly assigned which fucking worm segment was which boss. They look so identical. I think the next one to vote on is probably the space bosses, though. And I don't really have good experiences with either of them. This one in particular felt like buggy tier, or just like awkward tier with the mushroom. But I think it's slightly better than the mushroom. I put it here. Because it's just an awkward feeling fight. At least that's my recollection of the last time I did it. And just like weirdly hops all over the place, and some of the bullets are so fucking annoying. Like, it shoots like a planet-looking ass bullet that like has a little orbity thing around it. Hate that, dude. Hate that. But yeah, I would have to refight this one because it's been a while, honestly, since I fought it. This one, my most recent experience with it, and my only real experience with it, assuming this is the space boss, Astrum Deus, I think, is really bad on death mode. This is like one of the worst offenders of worm bosses just not being fun at all on death mode. Which isn't very fair to the boss, because I'm, comparing it at its hardest difficulty. I just think the tweaks they did for death mode were particularly unfun. Like, it actually moves at light speed. You cannot get away from it. It's so fucking annoying. Not the most fun boss fight experience. And again, playing in a small world where if I fly too high, I touch space and am at like 2 meters per second. That's actually really fast at 2 meters per hour. There you go. 2 meters per second is wicked fast, dude. Alright. Yeah, sorry, that's D tier. At least the iteration of the boss fight that I fought it at. This one, I had very limited experience with it, but even when playing it not on death mode, I remember there being an incredible difficulty spike from literally everything that comes before it. Maybe I should rank the mini-bosses first, because it spawns the mini-bosses during the boss fight. That would be this, and it has to be this. Is this Astrum Deus? This has to be Astrum Deus. Sorry, that's there. This is the Storm Rider, or whatever, that is part of the God boss. That's right. Okay. That being said, this is also a shit tier fight in death mode, which is my only experience with it, and on a small world. I know it's not that fair to judge it on worst case scenario, but it just moved too fast. Like, literally the only way I killed it on death mode was by using the portal gun, so I could teleport away from it. It's just too fast. And I had, like, way too limited vertical height for the boss fight. Like, I couldn't really fly at all, because if I flew, like, 2 inches off my platform, I was in space, and all momentum is taken away from you. This fight, I straight up have no recollection of it, which means it has to be a D tier. And same with this fight. I think it's D tier. These are basically mini bosses. But when I play Calamity again at some point, I'll give those a better rating during the playthrough. The God fight, though, this is a tough one. I'm gonna keep thinking about it while I do Providence. What is this? I think you have to fight these before you fight Providence, but I have, like, no memory of it. Maybe it's like an update thing? I don't know. Regardless, it's going D tier for the I don't remember you tier. Sorry. Providence is S tier. Honestly, best fight Calamity has on offer. This is an insanely fun fight. I got nervous. I saw that in the patch notes for one of the updates to Calamity. They said they made changes to Providence, which is frightening, because, like, I thought it was a really good fight as is. Specifically, the overworld hollowed version of Providence is just insanely fun. The Hell one is alright. It's still mostly the same boss fight. There's, like, very small differences between where you fight it. But I would say that the hollowed version is more fun. Anyways. Again, avoiding the God fight, I'm going to say this is jank tier, and also jank enough to be dropped in D as opposed to C. I just don't know what it is that you do. You're D tier. Dragon fight, it's been a long-ass time since I fought it, but I remember having fun with it. It's probably... I'm gonna give it a neutral rating, since I honestly don't remember that much. What happened to my Terraria music? It just stopped. It looped like 6 times and then decided it was gonna die on me. I guess YouTube had enough, huh? That's fine. I'm almost done here anyways. Ghost fight is actually, like, really fun, although the difficulty is maybe a bit over-tuned in death mode. I still had a really fun time with this fight. I think it's actually S tier. I think it's a really good fight. Though I might rethink it while playing. Benefit of the doubt, drop it in A tier. Because I don't remember that much about it. It's A tier for now, but maybe S tier. I like the mechanics of the fight. The mechanics of the fight are pretty fun. I don't know who you are, D tier. Honestly, I thought you were this. I didn't know these were two different bosses, which means you know what? They're both going in D tier because I don't remember enough about them. I'm only gonna rank the ones I remember enough about. Sorry. God. They've changed this fight a lot since I first fought it. When I first fought it, I really didn't like it, and the last time I fought it was on death mode, and I didn't really fight it that much. I just stopped playing death mode because Journey's End came out. But I think the fight is okay. Neutral tier. Never mind, I'm sticking to my principles about not voting on bosses I don't remember enough about. Supreme Calamitous, I never played on death mode, I only played on... I think only on normal mode, without any of the Calamity difficulty increases. But that fight was pretty enjoyable, although some parts of it, not so much. Like the boss will often go outside of the arena, so you can't really damage it at times. I don't really remember that much, but I remember enough to give it an A. It's an A. Alright, that's it. I'm fucking done. This has been a 6-hour, 18-minute stream. I'm, I don't know. My throat hurts, is I guess the best way to put things. I'll try and be here tomorrow still, but if my throat is blown out to the point that it hurts to talk tomorrow, don't be surprised if I'm missing for a day out of this week. I wasn't expecting this to go on nearly as long as it was, and it breached the 6-hour mark, which makes my YouTube editing super fucking annoying, because I can't use the the in-YouTube editor to split up my videos for VODs like I normally do. I have to actually download this VOD to split it up, which is not fun. But anyways, yeah, I mostly had fun during the stream. Mostly. Hopefully it was enjoyable at all, though I know it's a bit of a messy stream. That's gonna do it for today. I'll be back with gaming tomorrow, probably. I was planning on... Like, I actually expected this to go so much faster than it did, that I thought I was gonna play a game after I was finished with all this. That didn't happen. I'll do some real gaming tomorrow, so be excited for that, maybe. I'm not sure if anyone really gets excited for a WillPending stream. It's a mixed bag. But I'll be back tomorrow if I can. Thanks for anyone who watched, and yeah, cool. Goodbye.